Hello, Namaste, it's Claire Schwitter from Embodying Presence, and welcome back to part 2 of Introduction to Gentle Somatic Yoga. If you have not watched part 1 yet, please stop here now and go and watch part 1 first, because the first part has all of the warm-up exercises and the very important explanation of this yoga practice. So it's really important that you go and watch part 1 first. But we'll just continue a little bit with what we were doing yesterday, and I think it's very important that if we've had a bit of space between watching the two videos, that we just spend a moment or two to land, to find our comfortable sitting position, get our extra cushions and props if we need them. It's also okay to sit in a chair. We'll just do a little bit of a body scan just to bring ourselves into the present moment and bring ourselves into the space. So just a chance to really land and be here. Noticing the way that you're sitting. Notice the sensation of your bottom, your thighs, your legs, your feet on the ground or the chair. And imagine that you're in the airport and you're having one of these scanner things put over you. Just going through the body and seeing where there might be tightness or pain or funny sensations. Noticing where your breath might be a bit tight. How you're feeling in yourself in terms of your emotions. But being the witness, being the observer, rather than trying to change anything about those things. As I said in the earlier video, the brain learns through contrast. So we'll do another one of these at the end of this video, and we can get a good chance to see how things may have shifted. Okay, so we'll start the practice with 3 cleansing breaths. That's in through the nose and out through the mouth. When we're letting the breath out through the mouth, really try and feel the tension coming away from your jaw, your throat. And that's why it's very good to vocalize the exhalation of the air. So breathing in through the nose. Okay, so we're going to come into a traditional Hatha Yoga pose called Cat Cow, and I've chosen this one to do because it's one that, as somebody who's myself, I've practiced a lot of traditional yoga, mostly Iyengar yoga in my time, and I like a good strong stretch. But the thing with gentle somatic yoga is we're not doing good strong stretches. We are avoiding the stretch reflex as much as possible. So I think this is a good one to do if you do practice yoga, because your brain has to be retaught how to do it in a slightly different way. So we start with our hands nice and splayed out like that. If you've got quite tight wrists like I do, you can sort of release the palms a little bit, so you're like kind of grabbing the carpet. And that helps to support the wrists a bit better. So we start with the tabletop back, with a flat back. And when we're coming into our arch we are being careful not to overstretch anything. We're being careful not to overstretch the lumbar, which can easily get damaged, or the neck. So I tend to lead with my shoulder blades. I tend to pull my shoulder blades together, and that helps to descend the rib cage and to lift the head. And then before we get any type of stretch coming in, we release that down into a flat back again, and then we continue the flow of movement by raising the navel up and bringing the chin to the chest and back, and we're also opening the shoulder blades this way around. So once you've got the hang of that, we can just gently go backwards and forwards. Never overextending, never overstretching, but bringing as much as possible a feel of fluidity, as if your back, your spine is water. It's undulating in water, like a fish swimming. And we can be curious and explore where we may find parts of that movement sticky, and we can stop in places. You might want to stop where the back is flat and explore coming up. We may notice how our hips might want to come a little bit more up. And we can do this for quite some time. For because this video is actually going to be quite short again, I'm moving through these movements a little bit more quickly than I would like. I would normally spend quite a long time just doing that. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to show you how you can also mix this up a little bit, how you can add your own variation into it a little bit. So once you have the basic undulation of the back, you can start to do circular movements by, say, dropping an elbow, coming back down into the knees, coming back up round the other way. I don't know if you can see that. I might have to come round this way a little bit more. So you're bringing a spiraling motion in to the movement. And like the somatic head circling that we did in the earlier video, this is an integration movement. It's a movement that kind of rewards us with pleasurable sensations. And it's also a movement that we can use to break down into very tiny parts if we're wanting to explore where we may find stickiness or little bits of movement that are hard to do, a bit stiff. And it's in these tiny little micro movements, the exploration of them, that helps to erase the motor sensory amnesia. So you can really do this for quite some time. Exploring and going in both directions. Okay, and then moving into another posture that is very traditional in Hatha yoga, traditional yoga, is coming into cat-cow. So what I'd like you to do is, not cat-cow, the child's pose. So what I'd like you to do is arching the back. We're going to try and pull, imagine you're pulling in all of your muscles into the very center. You've got a little center in your navel, and you're pulling all of your muscles into that place, toes, fingers, everything. I bet the best way to describe this is it's like a yawn, like you're yawning. And as we're doing that, we're going to pull back, and as we're pulling back and down into child's pose, we're relaxing all of our muscles. Now your knees need to be a bit more further apart as well. It's quite hard to see on these this video phone. Your knees need to be far enough apart that you've got the space to come back down. Okay, so we'll just do 3 of these. You're not pulling in for ages, only for a few seconds, like you're yawning. Like how a cat or a dog, you see them when they first get up. You're pulling everything in. And then releasing. When we come down, be sure you release everything. You need to release your head. If you can't get your head to the floor, it needs to flop onto your hands. And relax there. It's important to feel that that relaxation after you've done that yawn. This is called pandiculation, and this is a very key part of the general somatic yoga practice. And the best way to describe it, as I've said, is like a yawn. So we'll do that again. Pulling everything in really tight, like you're that beginning part of a yawn, pulling all in, and then relaxing everything down and laying your head on your hands. The reward of the relax. And we'll do that one more time. Pulling everything in, squeezing it all in. Every single cell of muscle and fascia getting squeezed in. Relaxing it all down. And spend a moment or 2 here. Just enjoying that sensation of relaxation. And then, because we only have about a minute left of this video, you can slowly and gently and easily come back up to sit up. You can switch your legs around if you feel you like a bit of a change, and come back to sit either in your chair or on the floor, however is comfortable for you. And we'll spend a few more seconds doing a body scan to notice how you feel. What feels different? I certainly feel a lot more space and movement and energy in my upper back, a part of my back that tends to get very stiff and stressed from sitting at the computer. I feel even in that short time that space has opened up. What do you feel? How do things feel different? So thank you for watching, and as I say, please check out more videos with James Knight on general somatic yoga, and enjoy the practice. Bye.